Hey kiddos, it's Mrs. Bernal. I just wanted to give you the answers to the review for chapter 13. So remember to just pause as needed and to look at the answers as needed, because I know that I probably go a little fast and you'll need to probably pause. Okay. All right. So number one, there are the terms for that expression. Remember, the terms are everything that's being combined. So it was z plus 8 minus 4z. I'm not sure exactly of the order, but just all of the terms. Okay, so the only like terms were z and negative 4z. Number two, like terms were 3n and negative n. And then 7 and negative 3, those were the pairs of like terms. All of the terms, 3n, 7, negative n, and negative 3. All right, for number 3, the terms listed there, you see them there. And then the only like terms were 10x squared and negative 3x squared. Remember, like terms, they have to have the same variable, and that variable has to be raised to the same power. Okay. All right. Number 4. And I'm just going to expand this here so you can see the work. So number 4, when you combine those two terms, remember you're combining, and remember to take the sign in front of the term. So I would look at this as 4h and negative 8h. Okay, so you're adding the two. I know it says 4h minus 8h, but remember, if you were to keep change, it would change to 4h plus a negative 8h. So as long as you think of these expressions as combining like terms and always take the sign in front of the term, you're not going to have to worry about the keep change when you're looking at subtraction. Okay. All right. So number 5, final answer is 3.5r minus 7. For number 6, you should have noticed that you needed to combine, and I'm going to use my stylus here. So here is a like term, 3/5 x and negative 320x. So you had to get common denominators. So they do that first. They do that right here. Okay. So then you would have had 9/20 x, and then you would also combine, let me see if I can get a different color here. You would combine this 19 and negative 7, which gives you a total of 12. So your final answer is here, right there. Okay, so 9/20 x plus 12. So if you were having questions on that one, remember, we're using all of our skills and putting it all together. Okay, next one. There is number 7, 8, 9, 10. And so go ahead and pause the video so you can look at those, and I'll expand them here so you can see the work that they did. Remember, you have to distribute that 3 in, so it would become 6 and 3q. So 3 times 2 and 3 times q. So don't forget to do that. Same thing with the 1/8. And here, don't forget, it's negative 1.5 times negative n. So negative times negative is a positive. So that's why there is a positive here, 1.5n. Okay, because we took this and times it by the negative n. And then, of course, a negative times a positive 4. That's why they have negative 6. Okay, so let me go ahead and erase that. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, and pause, remember, as you need to. Okay, next one, 10. There's final answer. All right, 11. There is the work. You had double distribution. Remember, I always say take the sign in front of the term. So really, you should have multiplied negative 2/3 times d. That would give you this. And then a negative 2/3 times 6 would give you negative 12/3. Okay. And then it's combining like terms. So when you get to this step here, you have to get common denominators. Same thing with these like terms here. You need to get common denominators. And then your final answer. Once you have common denominators, you can combine those, combine these, and it would be negative 60 and negative 60 all over 15, right? Because both of them have common denominator of 15. So that'd be negative 120 over 15, and negative 120 divided by 15 is the negative 8. So that's why they get down to negative 8. Okay. Moving on. So these were going backwards, right? Working backwards, factoring out the 2, figuring out what was being multiplied in order to get a final answer of 2b plus 8. So it must have been 2 times b, or I'm sorry, 2 parentheses b plus 4. So they factored out a 2 there. 13, you should have recognized you factor out a 1/4. All right, 14, you factored out a 1.7. Okay. And that would make sense because what times j would give you 1.7? J, well, 1.7. All right, there is 15. Factor out the negative 5. All right, solving and then the check. Remember, I did not require you to do that, but if you wanted to, you could have. So there is the answer. Remember to pause as needed so you can take a moment to look at this. I'm trying to make it so the video is not too long. All right, there's 17, 18, 19. There's 20. Remember to pause as needed because I am obviously going way faster. There's 21. So this right here, just so you can see this right here. So adding 5, 6 to both sides. Big Idea just said, hey, we know that this is difficult doing these vertically, so we just made the work horizontal to the right here and did common denominator of 24. And then when you do that work, you get that answer. Okay. All right, 22. T is 4.9. There's the work for 23. There is the work for 24. Answer happens to be X is a negative 24. 25. There's the solution. 26. 27. Remember, as you see this screen, you can see all the answers, but when I tap on it, it expands to show the work. So that's why I'm tapping on it so you can see the work. And remember, pause is needed. There's 35. Remember to take care of anything that's being added to the variable. So 5/8 is being added, so you need to subtract 5/8 from both sides. And then do your final step of multiplying out the 6. So that's what they're doing there. They're just doing what you do to one side, you have to do to the other, right? So we're subtracting 5/8. All right. Oops. All right. And then let's see here. I'm tapping everywhere. Oh, goodness. There we go. Okay. Nope, I don't want the pen. I keep hitting the eraser. Okay, the pointer. Here we go. There is 36. Okay, so you have to add 4.6 to both sides. And then divide out the -3, and you should get -3.5. And remember, use a calculator for these to do the math, right? Don't go off to the side and do this by hand, the long division. Do that part, punch in 10.5 divided by -3. Make sure you're hitting the negative and not the subtraction sign, because that is different, okay? And then let's see here if I can get... I don't know why. There we go. Okay. So there's 37. There's the words that were used in the story problem, right? Elevation change per year times the number of years plus the current elevation should equal a -31, and let n be the number of years, right? So to find out when the elevation will be -31 feet. If you do all the math and solve for n, it will take 11 years for the canyon floor to have an elevation of -31 feet. Okay, and that's relative to sea level, most likely. So just, pause as needed, take a look at that, what it's saying. I'm not going to give one like that on the test. Your test is, very just looking at two-step equations. But I wanted you to at least see this type of problem. So that way, when you guys see it in the fall, in the first couple of weeks, you'll know, okay, no panic. This is just putting words in place of numbers and a variable and solving for the unknown. Okay. All right, guys. So this is it. It's a little bit long. I'm sorry. The video is 12 minutes or so. But if you have any questions, just feel free to email me, and have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.